Oi oi, alright, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is Do The Review coming through with a new album too. Just give a listen to and chat about whether I like it or not really. Today we're finishing a trilogy that initially I didn't even know that I'd started. When I checked out the album Bad News from Real Bad Man and Blue around the autumn of last year, I had no idea it was one of 3 albums released by the production powerhouse Real Bad Man in 2023. The second one I listened to and reviewed was the collaboration with Young Morpheus called The Chalice and the Blade. It was in that review that I actually did a bit of background on Real Bad Man, or RBM, so I'll link that below, as well as the review of the Blue album, and you can check those out for the full scoop. But the short version is Real Bad Man are a kind of design team that take on projects that span branding, merch, and weirdly hip-hop production. Their aesthetic is one that has a lot of reverence for a kind of warm, organic, sample-driven boom bap sound, and they might just be one of my favourite producers around at the minute. So after loving Bad News and The Chalice and the Blade, I had to go back to the start of 2023 and check out this, Serpent, an RBM collaboration with celebrated, eccentric, underground legend Kool. And I went in with understandably high hopes, but for whatever reason this one just isn't clicking for me. Production wise, it's all high quality, no doubt. It has the same aesthetic that I absolutely love, but where Bad News had a sharp, tight and kind of funky tone, and Chalice had a dark, brooding vibe with a real emphasis on bass guitar, Serpent feels kind of subdued. It takes qualities of both the albums I've mentioned. Rugged, for instance, has those nice bass moments like the album Chalice, and Great Marlowe has an upbeat and lively feel like stuff we'd hear on Bad News. But on the whole, there's just this kind of mist that hangs over the whole album that seems to prevent you from really taking anything away with you once the record's done. And I think that might come from instrumentally putting more emphasis on kind of like a haunting organ sounds and occasional moves into very old school vocal sample repetition. And I know samples are a big part of the RBM vibe, but on this one it almost feels like you can see the stitches or something. It's really hard because you could put this record on now and I'd pretty much vibe with every track here, but I just never feel any pull towards it. I'm never really hyped to put it on. Once it's done, I don't feel a burning desire to listen again. It just isn't connecting with me. Dr. Octagon, Dr. Doom, Black Elvis, Keith Korg, these are all aliases taken by Kool at some point, and I've heard of his work for some time, particularly the album Octagonologist, but I've just never had the chance to give his work as much time as I should. And as a result, Serpent is really the first time I've spent any significant time on record with the MC, and I wonder if this has something to do with it. I'm just not indoctrinated enough into the rapper's world. From what I understand, RBM said he really composed the beats with Keith's discography in mind, so again, it all kind of just makes me feel I just need to spend more time in the world of Dr. Octagon, and the instrumentals and the bars here, when I eventually revisit, might all just kind of hit me in a different way. I'm giving this one a 5/8, but like an awkward breakup, I'm sure this is a bit like, it's not you, it's me. I'm just not ready. It's one of those type things. Alright, check this out if you liked, or if you like this, check out, as we say, Katoilo Iotko. Katoilo Iotko. The acronym that just gets harder to say the more you say it. So definitely, I think if you like the Real Bad Man collabs with Blue, which is Bad News, and Young Morpheus, which is Chalice, then you should definitely give this one a look if you haven't already. And with maybe the darker tone of this one though, maybe as a third option you could have the Arm & Hammer album Haram. Thinking of it as a bit of a darker cousin to this one. It's Alchemist production, so it's got that sample driven boom bap feel, but of course it's the world of Billy Woods and Elucid, so that gives the whole thing a kind of dystopia twist. If you thought all of these 3 albums on a scale, with Bad News on the side of accessible and upbeat, with Haram being way moodier, twisted and a little bit worrying, but ultimately still a vibe, then Serpent is kind of placed between that and Chalice. So give it a go. Alright, let's knock it on the head then. That's what I think. What about you? Did you love this one? Have I just got it all wrong? Tell me how you feel in the comments while you're messing about with clicks and taps and all that garb down there. Press the subscribe button. I'm sure there's a button floating around for it down there. Subscribe, share some thoughts, show some love, or just hold some abuse in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Bye.